morning, guys. So today we're going to be testing out some new products from Benefit. I do not know that they're new to Benefit, but they have changed the name on them and I've never tried them before. So we're going to go ahead and test them out today. So I've got the Boi-ing Benefit concealers. I've got 3 of them, and I've got the Airbrush Concealer in number 2. I've also got the Brightening Concealer in number 2. And then I've got the Hydrating Concealer in number 2. So I chose to get number 2 in all of them because I think number 2 was the light medium, and then there was a medium, and then there was a light. There wasn't a very big variety of different shades, so I chose to be kind of in the middle. I've got the Brightening Concealer, which I'm going to put on first, and then we're going to do a test with the Airbrush Concealer, which is supposed to be a full coverage on this side, and then the Hydrating Concealer, which is just a light concealer coverage on this side. The reason why I purchased the hydrating one is because my under eyes tend to get a little bit more dry within the summer months, and so I like to have a little bit more hydration under there, but I still like to have the coverage, and sometimes certain things can be way too drying under my eyes, so I chose to go with a hydrating concealer under the eyes. I did end up using Sephora points to get this concealer, which is the Airbrush Concealer, the full coverage one, so I figured I would just put them both to the test on either side of my eye. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the full coverage Brightening Concealer, and this is kind of a peach concealer. If you're not familiar with the Brightening Concealer, it basically just will hopefully cover up some of the spots that you have, and then you go in with a regular concealer afterwards. So this is a peachy type of concealer that you put on first. You can use your fingers or you can use a brush. I'm going to go ahead and choose to use a brush because I don't want to stick my fingers in here, and I have been using this for the last couple of days just to kind of see what it does, and I do quite like it, but let's go ahead and show you the difference between one and the other. So I'm going to go ahead, as you can see, I have some dark circles right here under my eyes, which I want to cover up, and then there's some little areas within my face that I have like scarring and stuff that I'll be covering up as well. So let's go ahead and go in. I'm going to go in on both sides with this. So this would go on before the concealer. So as you can see, it's very brightening, but it does kind of hide those areas on your face that you want to get rid of. So I really do like this, and it works with under any concealer that you have or any foundation that you have. I just chose to get the whole line because I wanted to try it all out. So alright, next we're going to go ahead and go right in with a foundation. I'm going to be doing a foundation review as well today, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to that real quick, and then I will come back and show you what it looks like with the foundation, and then after that we're going to go ahead and put the concealer on. Alright, so now that I have the foundation on, we're going to go in with the hydrating concealer on this side, and then we're going to go in with the Airbrush Concealer on this side. So I'm going to go ahead, and this one comes in a lipstick form, and I have had these for a couple of days, so I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. But it does have like a white hydrating stick around it, and then the concealer itself with the color is in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the way I would normally put concealer. So I'm just going to rub it here on my eye and just bring it down a little bit, just like that, and then a little bit here because that's where I put that, and that's about it. So of course you can take it and hide some of the spots that you have covered earlier with this, so we'll do that as well. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend that in, and I'm going to set that, and let's see how that works. I think after blending it out and then having the color corrector underneath, I think it does a really good job. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of the Coty Airspun, and I'm going to go ahead and just set that real quick. Alright, and then after setting that on this side, I think it does okay. It doesn't look too crepey or anything like that. It just kind of looks like I have coverage under there, so that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead now and go in with the Airbrush Concealer on this side, and like I said, they're all in the same colors. Alright, so for me right now, both sides look pretty darn similar. I don't see much of a difference when it comes to the coverage, and I look down. I won't be able to probably tell until I look into the footage to see, you know, what side looks better. As far as like it's sticking to under eye lines, I found that all concealers do that with me. I am almost 40 years old. I have a lot of under eye lines, and I don't have like filler or anything under my eyes, so things are going to stick to some of the lines that I have under there. You know, as you age, you get more lines. I'm not youthful as much as I used to be, and I do have lines. I don't have like that puffiness, which I love and which I had. So if I do end up using a concealer, it's definitely going to stick a little bit and look a little bit more drying, but you get used to that as you get older. But for the most part, I don't see much difference in the hydration side as opposed to the non-hydration side. So they both look really similar. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to call this time 8:17 in the morning. So I'm going to wear it for as long as I can, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like at the end of the day and show you if there's any difference on either side, so you can get kind of a feel of which one you might want to try out if you're interested in this product. So I'm going to go put the rest of my makeup on, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like with makeup and stuff. But I'm going to go put my makeup on and I shall be back. So here's what the finished look looks like after I've got all makeup on. I think that the under eye concealer does really well on both sides. Right now I am more gravitating towards the hydrating side. I think it looks a little bit just more hydrated. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to go ahead and wear it for the rest of the day, and then we can come back at the end of the day to show you what it looks like and how it holds up throughout the day. It's in the middle of summer, so we're going to be about 70 to 80 degrees out, sometimes 90, so depending on what the day's like, it may be a really good test for it today to see how it's going to last. So I shall be back in a couple hours to show you what it looks like. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Alright guys, so now it is 6:13 in the evening. So we've had the concealers on for a little over 10 hours, or right at 10 hours. We have the hydrating one on this side, and then we have the airborne or the airbrush full coverage on this side. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull in my mirror and so I can kind of see. So I did get a little bit of creasing with the one that's hydrating here. It started to build up a little bit. I did set my concealer with the Coty Airspun, and so it did crease a little bit, but it did on this side too. But for the most part, even with like the Tarte Shape Tape, I do get a little bit of creasing. It's just part of my face. It happens with all concealers that I use. So I feel like the one on the hydrating side here, it looks like it may be a little bit more faded away, because this one is not considered a full coverage. This is a light medium coverage, and then the airborne on this side, or the airbrush on this side, is a full coverage. So you are getting a little bit more coverage on this side than you are on this one. And as you can see, as I'm looking into the camera, you can kind of see a little bit more shadows on this side than this one. But I do enjoy this hydrating one because, like I told you, sometimes my eyes, under my eyes, get a little bit drier than normal. So especially during the summer months, I like to have more hydration there. So I will continue to use this. All of these products, if you bought the full size, they're all $20. So they're not cheap, but they are comparable to the price of the Tarte Shape Tape and like the Kat Von D. Those are the ones that I've used currently, and I use the Tarte Shape Tape and the Kat Von D a lot. So I think the Kat Von D is 26, and then the Shape Tape is either 24 or 22. I don't know the exact price, but I'll put that all down below. So I don't mind this, actually. I think that the one that I use currently all the time is the Tarte Shape Tape. I think that I like these just a little bit more right now in the summer months because they don't get buildup under my eyes. And the hydration one on this side, even though the coverage isn't completely there anymore, I think that I could probably, I'm gonna just throw some on there, and let's see what it looks like if I just throw a little bit more and kind of blend it out. If I can add more to it throughout the day and see what will happen. Sometimes when you do that, things will get a little messy, and that's never a good thing, but let's see what happens, because it is very hydrating that I think that you might be able to add a little bit more coverage on there. So yeah, I was able to add that. Let me pull it in, and it did not mess with the makeup. So now at this point that I've added, it does look like this side. So I mean, you can always go back in with the hydration one if you choose to get that one, because you just want like a lighter coverage but you want the hydration, and you can add it on throughout the day if you need more coverage. If you're going out, or if it tends to fade away, you can add some more, and it doesn't look overly cakey, and it doesn't build any like cakiness on your eye, so that's good. I don't know that you can do that with this one. Let's try it and see. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my little concealer brush. Let's see what happened. Alright, so I wouldn't recommend doing that with the Airbrush Concealer. That one is a little, it's definitely noticeable now that I've done that. So you can do it with this one here, the hydrating one, but you probably shouldn't do it with the other. So that's good to know. But like I said, I like them both. I like all three of them. I really do like this brightening concealer because I do have some like darkness here in the center of my eyes, and I think that actually held up really well, especially on the one that's full coverage. It held up really well. The one that's the hydrating one on this side, it held up pretty well, but it did start fading away a little bit within the 10 hours. So that's something to keep in mind. If you have really dark circles, you may want to get this brightening one. Then they have 3 different shades. They have a 1, a 2, and a 3. And I'm in the middle. You might want the darker one if you have really dark circles on your eyes. And then either I would say to get the Airbrush Concealer or go in with your Tarte Shape Tape if you have that already. I like all 3 of them, so I give them all a thumbs up. I will continue to use them. It's most likely that I will, when I run out, continue to purchase the brightening one, and most likely I will continue to purchase the hydrating one. As far as the Airbrush Concealer, I will not continue to purchase this one. I will continue to use it until it's gone, but I would probably end up sticking with my Tarte Shape Tape just because I like the hydrating one, and it's not something that I have already in my collection, and I already have the Tarte Shape Tape, which I love a lot, and it does the job for me. So I think that while I do like the Airbrush Concealer, I like the Tarte Shape just a little bit better. And even though the Tarte Shape Tape Shape is a couple more dollars, I think I would still buy it with even being that a couple more dollars. So alright guys, that is my review on this concealers. Let me know if you have any questions about them. I'm going to continue to use them, and I've been using them throughout the week. I already had some thoughts on them and knew that I liked them. Every concealer is different for everybody, so which one would you choose if you were going to choose one? Would you try the hydrating one, or would you try the just regular full coverage one? I personally like the hydrating one when it comes to these concealers from this particular brand. I think the hydrating one really suits me right now. So I guess that's my review. Let me know what you guys think. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now would be a good time to do so. And I shall talk to you guys sometime within the week. Bye!